Anna, it's a pleasure to have you back on the podcast again. How you doing?
I'm great, thank you very much. How are you doing, Adam?
Yeah, no, it's really good to have you on. And yeah, I'm doing really well, thank you. And yeah, last time we connected, it was me, you, Anita, and Anna, wasn't it? Because you have another friend that you work with as well.
Yeah, it was me and Anita. It was both. You had both of the Get Savvy Club on.
Yeah.
So, but today you've just got me. I don't know if this is the better half or the worse half. Who knows?
Yeah.
Pros and cons for us both. I'm sure. But yeah, I run a business called the Get Savvy Club, and my other business partner was on it last time. Yeah, but and I'm quite surprised today as we're recording this. Like the weather, it's now turned. A couple of weeks ago, they were talking about this heat wave that the UK was going to get, and it just didn't come. And now it's like it's arrived now, hasn't it? Like literally, like it's into 27 and 28 degrees today. So
yeah, it's hot. Crazy. Yeah, it's a bit of a delayed one, isn't it? In the UK, we usually kind of get noticed by it, and then it happens like weeks or months later. We just kind of get what we get.
Yeah, just have to roll with it. You have to check every day, like what the weather is, just to know, because sometimes you can get it so wrong, can't you? But we went to, me and my daughter went to Italy for 10 days.
Nice.
Long story, but we happened to have this brilliant opportunity where she got to work on a billionaire's boat, doing a theatre performance. It was amazing. Wow. But when we got back, everyone was talking about this heat wave, and obviously we'd just been out 30, 35 degrees actually in Italy. So we were like, are we just like not acclimatized to this? Is this? Yeah. But actually, it just wasn't the heat wave. But now the heat wave's coming now. But yeah, so it was amazing, this opportunity we got to do. It was like 10 days. It was like when it was built, it's the biggest yacht ever. So yeah, it's just a amazing experience. But you know, the most frustrating thing about it, we can't really talk about it on social media. So you can't, because of the level and who owns the boat. And even though as guys in the UK never heard of them, because they're nothing to us, because we're from the UK, so we wouldn't. But from where they're from, everyone knows who they are, and they're a big deal and whatever else. So not allowed to. I could only put pictures of us. People are like, "What are you doing in Italy?" But I was like, "Can't say on here." It's all dead intriguing and things. But yeah, otherwise you would have seen so many pictures bombarding on social media, because obviously that's what we do. But for this, we actually couldn't. So it was kind of a weird thing for me to be like told you can't put things on social media. It was really alien. But obviously we've got some nice pictures. So.
That's awesome. I mean, what a great experience for your daughter as well. I mean, and to be able to like have the opportunity to be able to do that, and I think it's important, isn't it? You know, just in life to kind of have certain experiences. I mean, it really opens your eyes, and I think that's why it's important to travel if you can, and you know, to have certain experiences, because it really does open your eyes, and you meet people, you see things, especially being on a boat or a yacht. You know, I think a lot of people sometimes have that mindset of they can only have so much, and I think, you know, when you think about, you know, success or wealth, there's no kind of limit to it, you know. To me,
well, it's made her realize what is out there, but equally it's made her realize that it's not necessarily a better way of living, it's just different, because there's lots of things that you wouldn't like. How they have to live their life is very different from how we live ours, and some of those things aren't necessary, because I always thought, well, you know, I'll be fine, you know, give me a few billion and I'll be good, I'm sure I'll make it work. But actually, when you wealth that much, you have other problems that come into it. And it's actually, would you want to have that life? Probably not. I wouldn't switch my life for the life that those guys have got, which is strange, because you'd think that you would. But having seen it, it's like, actually there is such a thing as having too much wealth and too much power and things. So I think it's that happy medium for me, really. I obviously would like to be have more success than I have now, more wealth than I have, but not off the scale wealth that you're so unconnected to everyday life.
No, definitely.
But good for her to see that. Good for her to see, and also put into context other people that you think of doing well and that are really rich and some famous people. And actually, when you see what their wealth is in comparison to that wealth, it's actually they haven't got that much money, and it's not actually a lot of money that, you know, that amount of money. Yeah, exactly. Because when we were away, we met James Corden.
Oh wow!
And it was funny because where it was, I think it's the kind of place that there were no other English people there, and so it was just strange, because my daughter was like, "There's James Corden," and I was like, "Yeah," and I looked and thought, it is as well. And she shouted James, and he looked so shocked because obviously he was somewhere where there's no other British people, and he's obviously thinking like it'd be fine. But it was lovely, and he took a photo of us and had a little bit of a chat about the yachts that we were on and the boats and things. So it was ever so nice, but it was just a bit of a strange one. And the other people that we were with, because it just happened to be just me and my daughter at that time. So there was a group of 9 that got to go on it, and it happened to be one of the days that me and my daughter just went out earlier than everyone else to get the boat to the boat that we worked on, and we're just sitting having a fruit pot and a donut for our breakfast, and there he was. So then they were like, oh, you trust you to meet him, we're like, why weren't we with him? We were like, well, we should have got up a bit earlier and breakfast there. But yeah, so we always things like that happen to me. Bumping into people or random opportunities and things, which is good.
It's a really nice coincidence, isn't it, to see that? And if your daughter likes him, you like him as well. It's a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's funny because we don't know him for all the things that other people probably know him for. We just know from Doctor Who. It was in a few Doctor Who episodes, so we're like, that's kind of how and also there's Peter Rabbit's voice. So so I never watch Gavin and Stacey, and I don't watch their Late Show. I know of it, but I don't really watch it. So when we're meeting and we're just thinking, oh, Peter Rabbit, the voice of Peter Rabbit, and the guy who's in Doctor Who. But obviously so much more than that. Yeah,
he's doing quite a lot of things, isn't he? He's quite big in America now as well.
Yeah, he's huge in America now. He's done so well over there.
And that's
the carpool karaoke he does, doesn't he? That
he does that as well.
That's good. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Because it's like using him as an example, I think like in life people like say, oh, you need to kind of do this to meet this, you need to be doing this, and there's no kind of set kind of rule of what you have to actually do, is there?
There's no path. And I think that's the problem with schools. They're almost beating the personality. They don't think they mean to be, but they're beating personalities out of kids that have got personalities, trying to shoehorn them into this way of how you must go and live your life in this linear sort of, right, okay, you're going to get your GCSEs, and they're really important, so you've got to work hard on those to get their A levels, to then do this, to get a good job, to get a house, to get married, to have kids. It's that kind of, and it will happen in this stage. And it's quite funny actually, because our cleaner was around a few weeks ago, and she'd asked my daughter, what do you want to do when you're older? And she went, oh, I'd quite like to work on a cruise ship, because my daughter likes looking after little children. But I said, instead of just thinking working in a preschool, why don't you do it on a cruise ship? Then you get to, when you have a day off, you can go and see the world or whatever. And it so happened that she mentioned this to my to the cleaner when she was round, and then a couple of weeks later was then this opportunity came to go and work on this super yacht as part of this theatre production that was going on it, and we forgot that she'd said that to the cleaner. And then when we're telling her that we're going to Italy to do this thing, she was like, oh, you said that? And I was like, wow, Sarita, that was fast manifesting to that. But my daughter just so happened, it's just because a friend of mine knows someone that works on the boat, and someone had dropped out because of COVID, that we got that opportunity. The other people were there because in their own right, they were great. They'd already done all this theatre stuff, and they'd already been at this level. Whereas my daughter, it's coincidence, it's time, place, it's knowing who you know, and it's just taking the opportunities as well. She wasn't fearful that she was not going to be able to keep up with everybody else, because she didn't have as much training as everyone, and she hadn't known about it as long as everyone. She was just like, yeah, we'll go for it. So we just did. And I think that's the thing, kids need to know that, or everyone in life needs to know that it doesn't really matter if you don't do so well at your GCSEs. Do your best, but who cares? But also that there's different ways of getting to the end result, and you've almost got to be what's that thing I heard once about somebody talking about you got to be you've got to be open to the way that you're going to get somewhere. So people think that they're going to get to that end goal, and they're going to get it by doing X, Y, and Z, or how this person explained it was like they're going to get to it in a really flash Mercedes car, or a really nice convertible, or Cadillac, or really great car, but might be open to the fact that you might be able to get there in a Ford Fiesta, but you'll get the same goal, you'll get the same result, but it's just going to be a different way round. And if you're open to that, then you don't panic to think, oh, I don't own that Cadillac, I'm not in that Mercedes, I'm not going to get there because I haven't got the vehicle to get there. Actually, there's all different ways of getting to the end result. There's loads of examples of that, isn't there? People that found fame and fortune in their acting career later in life, and it just goes to show, if you really want to do something, there's all different ways of doing it, and we shouldn't be telling children in school there's only this one way, and if you don't get good results, you're on the scrap heap, blah blah. It's just unfair, I think, and it's just stopping creativity. And and also it seems to be a bad thing to not fail. So it's always like as if failure is a bad thing. That's almost what they.
Yeah, sorry, broke up there because the connection. But you were saying, there's different processes of, trying to.
There's all different ways to skin a cat, as the old term says, isn't there? There's not just one route, and I think that's what we're kind of teaching our kids, that you need to do. And also, it's bad in the other way as well, because some kids think because they're top of every set, and they're going to get these A's, they're going to get the top results in the GCSEs, and they're going to get this, they could get all the qualifications in the world, and actually they're not going to get the job of their dreams. They're not going to have the life that they love, and they've been duped, really, because they've followed all the rules and done what they're told, and they haven't got that success that they were promised. And also that life's not fair, really. Like it just isn't. And it's not always the best person that gets the gig. It's not always the best person for the job that gets the job. It's all different things. So just be open to different ways.
Yeah. No, I think it's a really important topic, isn't it? And I think, like, you see a lot of people who kind of get on that path, and then, like you said, they might want, the car, or, they're working on that treadmill, and then, they accumulate these things, and they're in this position, and then they kind of realize, actually, I don't kind of really want this. They've kind of followed that path because maybe their friends have influenced them, their parents, or
they've done what they should do. Yeah, they've done what they should do to be like, to fit in with everybody else, instead of what they actually want to do. And then when they've actually questioned, usually something's happened in their life, like, I don't know, a crossroads, maybe they get divorced, or maybe something happens in their life that makes them kind of, maybe a really good close friend has passed away, and then it makes them think, reevaluate everything about themselves, and realize, I've just been living my entire life based on what everybody else wants me to do, or what I should do, rather than what I want. So I think it's important to get people to be themselves as much as they can, whatever that may be. Otherwise, they're just going to have a lot of unhappy people.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing you mentioned. Being yourself and following through with whatever it is that you want to do. And I think, like you said, like, people might want to be, I don't know, a painter or musician, or an author or something, but they might be doing something else because they're worried about what people are going to think about them, or even doing, like, things on video content, or putting things on social media. I mean, that was a big thing for me. I didn't do podcasts for like 3 years because I was worried what people are going to think.
Well, with our podcast, we just the same. I'd been to my podcast training, and I think it was about 3 years after that I finally actually got the podcast out there, just because I think it's, and usually I go all out on things, but I had a fear of, like, just one particular person listening to it, because podcast, obviously on my social media, I can block certain people, or, people can't watch your content. But when it's something like a podcast, it's out there, people can just consume it. They can just, know what it's like. They can find it anywhere. So I was just fearful of just literally one particular person listening to it. So I had to get over myself and be like, right, okay, I'm going to do this, whether, because I want to do it for me, for the benefit of the business, our clients and everything. And it's been, what it's like to have a podcast. It's been one of the best things that we've done in our business. But I get it that people are nervous on social media to go out, or the worst is actually when people go out on social media like they think they should go out because they've read a book or somebody's told them to do it this way, and they're not being themselves. They're being what people think that they want to be, and actually not going to attract the right clients into your business. We help people with this all the time, usually coaches. We help a whole ton of coaches, because how are you going to stand out from the next life coach to the next success coach if you're doing the same as them all? If they're all doing these reels that are all samey and it's taking you ages and you hate doing it, stop doing it. But people sometimes we start working with people and we look at their profile and we say, actually, your profile's fantastic, actually a bit too perfect and a bit too fantastic, a bit too branded and this, that and the other, that your real personality is not coming across, and you're just being vanilla. You're not attracting anyone to you, because a big part of attraction and attracting people to you is repelling the wrong people. So if you're not repelling people, if you're not, instantly, if people can't know instantly if you're right for them or not, to scroll and get rid of you if you're not, then equally you're not going to attract. And I think it's because people are so worried about what they're going to think, or I don't want to rock the boat here or offend anyone there, and actually then they don't end up winning any business using social media, because we're all about not just making your social media look pretty. It can be that, in actual fact it's better if it's a bit rougher, rougher, that's probably not the right, rough around the edges, rough on the edges, real, like you're a real person, rather than this kind of too branded, sculpted and looking perfect. People have warms to knowing who we are. We don't want a filtered perfect version of everyone. We want to know the real them, especially if you're going to be a coach and you're going to help people with a problem that they've got in life, or you're a therapist or you're a trainer. You need to feel that you're getting to know them through the content before they actually reach out. And when they reach out to you, it's a no-brainer. They'll want to work with you because they've already seen your content and know a bit about you and what you're about and what you stand for, what you don't stand for. It makes it easy. But so we find people get stuck with fear of being judged, what content to put out, and also time. Those three are the biggest factors of people struggling with social media. And we kind of help them make it easy on all of those fronts. And people come to us not liking using social media at all to then loving it. So that's a big aha for us, and making money from it, importantly, not just getting the likes. Who can, you can hire a social media manager that can get you following up or can get you more likes or whatever, but that doesn't transfer necessarily into money in the bank. And that's what we're about, creating profit using social media, not just getting likes.
And I think that's like a really great thing, you mentioned and what you do, and this must be really rewarding, helping people to do that as well, and seeing them, grow and develop, and then do well through your training. And I think, look, it's a big thing you mentioned, people replicating and copying, other people, or modeling what they're doing, and then literally you see the same thing that other people are doing. And like you said, if you're being yourself, you stand out probably more because you're your own person, you've got your own style. And I think I used to be really big perfectionist in the past, and you do a video and I delete it or whatever, and I think we've all done that or been there, and I think that's all kind of part of the process, isn't it? It's kind of part of the process, starting out, feeling vulnerable, and going kind of through those motions, and that's how you kind of grow, isn't it, over time?
And people are drawn to vulnerability, but no one wants to show vulnerability. That's insane as well. So it's like we all connect with people that are a bit vulnerable, but then that show their vulnerability, but we ourselves are like, I don't want to show that I would be vulnerable or whatnot. But if you go live on your Facebook and you just own the fact that this is the first time you've gone live and you're actually shitting yourself, and you want people to know that you're just doing, because we tell our clients to do it, and we say, just blame us, just say we told you to do it, and that's why you're doing it, and that you're out of your comfort zone. And then they get such positive feedback that they can't wait to kind of go back out again. And you're talking about something that inside out as well. You're talking about your business or some aspect of your business that and it's doing a disservice if you don't get out there and shine and help other people. Then you can't help other people if they don't know that you exist. So, and we've all seen people in our industry that are nowhere near as good as us in what we do, but because they shout, they're actually out turning up every day on social media or wherever in people's faces, then they're actually doing all right, and fair play to them, because they're taking that chance. And then there's those great people that are not being seen, that don't have a successful business, but they're great and they do great work and help lots of people, help people, but not as many as they'd like, and it's not helping them thrive. So it's all about getting from being good to great, really. So we don't really work with anyone that's not already good at what they do. It's just about getting other people to know that, and then from that going to that next level, really.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as well, seeing someone else do it might inspire, like you doing what you're doing, or someone else doing it live might inspire that person, or you don't know how many people it's going to inspire to then probably do the same as well.
Yeah, because I have a friend called Stacey, and she's in network marketing. We've known each other for years, probably over 20 odd years or something. And when I see her do a live, it makes me think you got to sort yourself doing a live. And we met for coffee today, actually. And I was doing a live in somebody's Facebook group, doing a talk in somebody's Facebook group, and I said to her, well, we met, and I did say, we're going to have to do this 15-minute live in this group. She goes, no, that's fine. So she was over she was at we looked really weird in this pub garden because we were sitting together, and then we weren't, so it looked like we'd fallen out. But I moved over to do mine, and then I saw at the corner of my eye she'd started doing one. So I think it's kind of good to remind us both that we need to show, but in both of our businesses we need to show up. So when I see her go live, I think about time I got around to doing live, and I think vice versa, which is good. So if you can have accountability partners, that helps massively. If you once you put it out there, you're going to do it, and you've committed to it, and you've told somebody else, preferably someone that's positive and that can hold you accountable in a nice way, then you're more likely to show up and do it as well, aren't you? So like me saying I'm going to do 100 speaking gigs in the last 4 months of the year. I've said it, I've put it out there, so I've got to make it happen. And especially our mentor that we have was like, how many? Well, that's going to be that many. And he was pulling a bit of a face, and I know why he does it, and it works. He sort of pulls a bit of a face like, you won't do that. And I think I'll show you.
Yeah.
But it's good because that's the kind of mentoring that I need, because I'll be like, I will do it. So you're my third one that I'm doing today, actually. So
that's awesome.
Been on a Facebook Live in a group at lunchtime, as I said there, and then I've had one on a Zoom with an old colleague of mine, actually, who's running these series of Zoom videos, and now your podcast. So I'm like,
that's
I
awesome.
am going to get there. So it's about letting people know, and then obviously opportunities will come to you. If people don't know, they can't help you, can they?
Yeah, definitely. It's that consistency, isn't it? That compound effect over time. If you really want to do it, you just got to show up, haven't you? I think that was a big thing when I started my podcast, just showing up. Life happens and things like that, but you got to show up. And if you really want to work at something and hit a target, you can do it if you really want to, don't you?
Yeah.
And I know you're thinking for time as well, but you mentioned you're doing a summit as well. Do you want to talk about a little bit about that?
Yeah. So the Get Savvy Club, in essence, what we do is we're an online coaching business that help mostly coaches, trainers, mentors, people, therapists, and other small solo entrepreneur type businesses attract clients using social media in less time. So we kind of tell you what not to do and what to do. So we've got a virtual summit coming up on the 2nd of October, which is a day event on a Saturday. So if you're new to business, but you have a proper job, but you're trying to build up your coaching business, so a lot of people start being coaches alongside a job, if you like, because they want to leave whatever career that is. So it's Saturday, the 2nd of October, 10 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. It's real interactive, action-packed. It's got it's called 1 Day to 10K. So we're not going to make you 10K in that one day. We're not promising that, but we are going to give you a roadmap, like a step-by-step actionable plan to put together, so that you'll be making 10K in that. You've got step-by-step plan to make an extra 10K in the last quarter of the year using social media. So it's a social media profit event, ultimately, how to set up social media, what you need to put out, and also working out setting that goal of getting an extra 10K into your business in that last part of the year, and how you're going to go out and how you're going to execute it. So yeah, we're excited. So I can give you a link to that if anybody's interested in joining us. Just £97 for the day. It's literally right from 10 till 4, full of things. You've got a workbook as well that you can take away, and lots of interaction. So at the end of it, you'll have a roadmap to go out and crack on for the last three months of the year and not feel lost. Like, I know a lot of entrepreneurs feel a bit lost at times, don't they? Because you're kind of working on your own, you don't know what to focus on first and things. So this is all about not just creating a reel that's taking you about an hour and a half to put together and it looks pretty, and lots of people might see it, but do you get any business from it? It's all about what can you do that's actually going to get you money into your business, not just look great and get the likes.
Yeah, definitely. No, I love that. I love everything that you're doing, and everything that you guys are about, and your work ethic, and helping other people in their social media, helping other people in their business and their lives. And I think it's what life is about, isn't it? I think if you can help other people along the way, I think that comes back to you, and you're doing something that you love and that you're passionate about as well. And
I mean, lots of people have helped me along the way, like when in my younger days and stuff, and I think, well, I can never repay them, but then all you can do is just give back yourself and just have that flow continue, can't you?
No, definitely, I definitely agree. And where can people find you on social media and that kind of thing, or your website, that kind of thing?
Yeah, well, the business is called Get Savvy Club, but you can find us on Instagram at Get Savvy Club, and then there's my name's Anna Geary, so you can go on LinkedIn, search up Anna Geary. My business partner's Anita Baldwin. So if you put Get Savvy Club or Anna Geary into any of the social medias, you will find us. And then, of course, if you want to email us, you can do on info@getsavvyclub.co.uk. And then we have the podcast, which is Marketing Made Easy from the Get Savvy Club. So that's on all good podcasting, hosting sites, whatever you want to do. In actual fact, it's really cool. You can shout at Alexa. You can go, Alexa, play Get Savvy Club's podcast, and it just plays it for you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Good, isn't it? Yeah.
There are loads of people who've got an Alexa now who...
I do it on Facebook Live sometimes, and they're like, oh, you just set my Alexa off. I'm like, good. Yeah. Normally saying, that's awesome. Didn't hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alexa's chatting away. They're always listening out. Alexas are.
Oh, I know they're scary things sometimes.
Yeah.
They pop up and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, where did that come from? What are you listening into?
Yeah.
What they're listening to. I know there's some people that won't have Alexas in the house because they're just, but it's like, hello, your phone's listening to you every second of the day. So you might as well just own it.
Different.
Just embrace the fact that we are all owned and everybody's listening to us all the time. And
everyone's
just
tapping in.
Yeah, just that's why you got to be yourself. Because
you're
being listened in all the time anyway. So you'll get found out if you're not.
Yeah, no, exactly. But no, yeah, I love everything that you're doing, and I wish you all the best with your summit and everything that you're doing in your business. And I'll be happy to promote what you're doing. And I wish you all the best.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having us on, and I'll send you the details to to join us as well. Brilliant.
Yeah. No, you're welcome. You have a great evening.
You too. Take care then. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.